In today's video, we have an extra special 1960s Les Paul. This comes from the Collector's Choice series that Gibson were doing in 2013. The model number is 078 John Shanks 1960s Les Paul. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's have a look at Collector's Choice number 7. Hello guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the Hummer luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley, and today we have the privilege of showing you a beautiful 1960s Collector's Choice Gibson Les Paul. This is Collector's Choice 07A, and it's a recreation of John Shanks' personal 1960s Les Paul. If you don't know who John Shanks is, he's the secondary guitar player for Bon Jovi. This is one of the early Collector's Choice models, and this was when they were quite scarcely made. There's only 300 units produced worldwide, so it is quite a rare Collector's Choice. So without further ado, let's get the case and open up this beauty. So guys, now it's time to open the case of this beautiful Collector's Choice guitar. As you can see, we've got a classic brown Lifton style case. So inside we have a beautiful 1960s Collector's Choice, and this is 07A John Shanks owned. The idea of the Collector's Choice was to recreate bursts that were famous. For example, the Greenie Les Paul and the Beast. I'd say this one's a little bit less famous. This was owned by Bon Jovi's guitarist John Shanks, hence the name Shanks, and it's a 1960s Les Paul. This one has quite a dark burst on it for a 1960s. Usually you have quite a bright red cherry for 60s. But the profile is perfect to a 60s, and that headstock is just to die for with the Grover tuners and heavy lacquer checking. Looks very similar to the Greenie Les Paul. Now these guitars came with some pretty cool case candy. You get these very thick leather-bound certificates of authenticity. As we open up, we get a lovely picture of the guitar, as well as a little bit of information about Collector's Choice. So yeah, it's pretty cool that you get this piece of case candy a lot bigger than your usual COA. What I love about these Collector's Choice is basically the relicking. Obviously you got this like finish checking and sanded away areas. This guitar was restricted to 300 units worldwide. Let's pull it out of the case and have a closer look at this beautiful Collector's Choice Les Paul. But to start off with, this guitar has a really nice weight. It's kind of in the middle for a Les Paul, not too heavy, not too light. It has some really nice kind of figuring to it on the back, as well as this awesome relic job. So first off, let's talk about the top. We have a two-piece flamed maple top. This one isn't buck matched, so it has that kind of classic burst look. They've got the burst nailed on. It's kind of a dark red, almost brown hue in the corner, going to this lovely kind of amber in the middle. This is quite surprising because usually on the 1960s burst you'd get a really bright red, but obviously this is just faded with time. That's then paired with some beautiful cream binding, which also has patinaed. Obviously it's a Les Paul, so we have a mahogany back. This again has kind of, faded to this brown colour. If you look around this portion here, you can see where the original dye is. So we've got mahogany back, and I really like the hue of this mahogany back. Got a really nice brown look. So originally these guitars would have been finished in quite a bright aniline red, but it's faded down. Obviously this is a recreation, but the original would have faded to this brown colour. You can also see here where it's slightly more red, so it shows that it was sunlight that has caused this fading. In the little corner here as well, you can see there's a little bit more red dye. But it's very impressive that Gibson were able to recreate these so well. Moving on to the neck, we have a 60s profile. This is one of the thickest 60s profiles that I've played. It's not a really slim taper, but you can definitely feel it's not as rounded as a 58 or 59 profile. We then have a rosewood fingerboard, which does look quite light. It looks like it's had a lot of wear on it. This was definitely a guitar that's been played a lot. We then have celluloid inlays, which have a little bit of amber over them. Just going to the headstock, whenever you put Grover tuners on a Gibson headstock, it makes it look quite small. It has that kind of greeny look, which looks really cool, and you can really see the deep finish checking there. There's some really nice touches, like around the neck here, you've got a little bit of wear where someone's thumb may have been over. and on the other side you can see where rings may have been. Other cool features include the pickups. These are the custom bucker Alnico free magnets. These are some of the best humbuckers on the market. They sound incredible, and I can't wait to show you the true PAF tone that they produce. Obviously, being a 60s guitar, you have the ABR1 bridge, but with the metal saddles and stock bar tailpiece. This is the lightweight aluminium one. You get 2 volumes, 2 tones, freeway switch, standard Les Paul stuff. I believe they have the bumblebee caps on the tones here. If you're wanting to add a lovely Les Paul to your collection, then look no further than this beautiful 1960s Les Paul. But that's all the specs, so let's go to the tone demo and see how she sounds. To start off with, I'm going to be using the tone that I used in the intro of today's video, which was kind of like a country rock blues type thing inspired by Cocaine Blues by Billy Strings. Very inappropriate for a Les Paul, but I thought it was quite a cool sound when I played it through the gain channel. So I'm using the AC30 with a vintage EQ preset and also a tube screamer. So this is the tone I'm getting out of the 1960s Les Paul. That's full volume and full tone. So let's hear that intro once again. We have a really nice, bright and gnarly sounding bridge pickup. Obviously you have the Alnico free custom buckers in these ones, so they have a really nice honest tone. Now let's play some more classic rock on that bridge setting. So it's without a doubt this guitar absolutely screams, but let's go to the neck pickup and see how it reacts on them gain channels. Very sweet sound indeed. Let's roll down that volume control a little bit and see how it reacts. That's what I really like about these Les Pauls, is that on full, volume you can get a really high gain, and then as you roll it down to about 5 or 6, you can get a really usable clean tone. Which is still just on the edge of breakup, kind of perfect for Hendrix, So guys, the neck pickup has a stunning clean tone, really nice for jazz as well as blues. So let's hear a little bit of blues on that note. Finally, bridge position. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Before I get into my personal review of this guitar, make sure to hit the like button down below and hit the subscribe button if you're new. This really helps us increase engagement onto these videos, and that means bigger and better guitars for you guys. So what do I think of this Collector's Choice 07A John Shanks one? I have to say, it's a very nice Les Paul, very nice recreation. I'd personally give it a 7 out of 10 for today's episode. I found that I really like the features, like the slimmer neck, the Grover tuners. Also, I wasn't a big fan of the relicking style. Obviously, I much prefer kind of the lighter aged stuff. It's just quite extreme on this model. I much prefer a light aged guitar, as I've mentioned. And also, just this burst is a little bit it's a little bit plain for me. I prefer either a tobacco burst with a little bit of a darker finish, or go to the lemon burst equivalent. But I have to say, I love the finish on the back. This kind of brown, washed out cherry look that they've gone for, which is obviously a recreation of the original. Really nice wear marks on the neck, which actually feel really nice to play. The lacquer was very, very smooth, and it was very nice to play. Looking at the headstock there, you kind of got the classic kind of greeny looking headstock there with the Grover tuners and the really checked headstock. This was kind of the first foray into relicking guitars for the custom shop on this type of scale where, Tom Murphy would actually age the guitars. So it's a really cool collector's piece and a really cool kind of piece of Gibson history. But what stole the show today was how this guitar sounds. These Alnico 3 custom buckets are just to die for. They sound incredible. Anytime, whether you're playing country, blues, rock, jazz, this guitar can definitely do it. So it really is a Swiss Army knife of all this stuff. You don't need coil splits, you just need a good set of pickups that can roll down very nicely, and you can get nice jangly tones as well as thick fuzzy tones. But yeah, that's my review today. 7 out of 10 for the Collector's Choice 07A. But most importantly, guys, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this Collector's Choice? Do you like it or do you hate it? And better still, if you own any Collector's Choice Gibson custom shops, let me know in the comment section below. But thank you so much for tuning in to Squealing Pig Guitars. But I'll catch you tomorrow for another episode. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.